Hello, this is Fuyang Hai, and this is part 3 of my review of the high-grade Gundam Exia Avalanche Dash. And this is the first configuration of the actual kit, where the Avalanche or the normal Exia was possible to make from leftover kits or for leftover parts. It was not intended to be built in the way it's not in the manual. And this form, however, is. And from here you start to get into the parts where you actually want to pay the money for. Because obviously this kit is more expensive than the regular Exia. And yeah, this is one of the reasons why. Yeah, let's go quickly over the changes from the regular Exia. Now, as you can see immediately, the shoulders are different. Difference in parts is basically the whole shoulder section. The whole shoulder armor is different, and of course these add-ons are different. And on the arms, you have these extra pieces. And on my kit, when I was transforming it or rebuilding it more into this configuration, I still had the transparent part in here. I had to remove it with my X-Acto knife because the armor would not fit on that part properly. It might have been because I haven't pushed it in far enough, simply because I still need to paint this kit, but it's also very possible that it is impossible to do, so beware of that. And besides of those parts, on the chest you have these yellow thingies here that are different from the regular Exia. And going down we have the skirt armor. Front skirts are different. They're also pretty loose, so if you decide to get this kit, yeah, you can try if it's as loose as well when they're together, but again I cut these apart so they move individually. And going down, the legs are a bit more busy. Get the hand out of the way. We have on both sides of the leg, you have these flaps. Yeah, they are able to move, but they go really stiff and they move together. So yeah, this is basically when you assemble this, put them in the right place and just don't touch them. As you saw just now, this part can move up. Now this looks a bit weird, but this basically comes into play when you are bending the knees. You can just flip them up and bend them more. If it was the way it usually is, you could not do that. So that's basically the only reason why it's there. And something falls off. Yeah, on my kit this keeps falling off. It's the part just beneath the collar. It might be my kit, but I'll just have to fix that. And yeah, the other parts are on the back. You have the back skirt. That is drastically different. And it falls. And when we go up a bit, you see that this whole part is new, and you actually get a whole new part for the back where these are mounted on. And yeah, those are basically the differences. Now you've seen the bottom articulation of this guy, so let's show you the top articulation. This articulation is for both this configuration, which is the Avalanche Exia, as for the final version, which is the Avalanche Exia Dash. So we're just going to go over this real quick. The arms can go just as far as they could with the regular Exia, and that is because the extra parts are very mobile. And you can put them up like this, and yeah, they look pretty intimidating. And you can also flap these parts down, exposing a thruster. Now they're not really supposed to stand like this, they're more supposed to go like this. So it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit more wide basically. And yeah, that's basically the only articulation that really changed. You can still go 360 at the waist, that's no problem. And yeah, what I forgot to say in part 1 is that the head goes for 360, no problem. And yeah, you've seen the legs, the articulation hasn't changed, or if it did, very, very slightly. Nothing's happened to the feet, so nothing happened there. And let's just show the arms. And pop off the hand, of course. Articulation is not really hindered very much. But yeah, you don't get much more than 90 degrees. And in the normal Exia you got a little bit more. And that's of course because of the stuff on the fingers or on the lower arms. Okay, so let's wrap it up at this at this configuration, and yeah, he's jumping for joy as you can see. So when we come back, I'll go over the changes of the Avalanche Dash. And here we have the fully equipped and armored up Gundam Avalanche Exia Dash. For the sake of time, I've already put the weapons on, as you can see, because that would just eat up too much time to put them on and show you how it looks when it's completed. So let's get over that first. Again, the top is basically the same as you get with the Avalanche Exia, the no grade 1 to 100 scale, and when you build this into the normal Avalanche Exia configuration. Now, what changed for the Avalanche Exia Dash? Now, no surprises, the legs. Because on the top you couldn't really add much, but on the bottom, ooh, you could. And yeah, what happened here? The knee armor changed, and yeah, basically, of course, this whole mechanism here, and these flaps on the sides are replaced with this one, which is basically part of the whole knee. And these spiky little things. Now, these spiky little things make it very easy to pose them, because you just put them down and it has like 4 places to rest. But you really don't want to pose it like this. This is, in my opinion, a waste of posing. Because Bandai was nice enough to give us a stand. Now, these are not stands you can buy in the store, unfortunately, because they're pretty damn good. They're simple, but they're good. As you can see, it has 2 pegs, so you can pose him upright and lunging forwards. And what I really think is cool about this base, underneath, what is this? If I peg it out, you see here, of course, a hole. And this piece is basically the crotch piece from the Avalanche Exia. Yeah, so when you remove it to put them on the action base, you can store the part in the hole here. It's made for it. So they were really considerate, because you really tend to lose stuff like this. So, here we get the base. And let's put the Exia on. It's, yeah, again, a simple hole in the bottom, align it, and put it on. Nothing else. So, yeah, let's turn the other way around so I can show this to you guys better. In this configuration, or in this form, basically, leg articulation is limited quite a bit, but it's not really immobile. Yeah, it can bend a bit, but it's nothing really spectacular when it's like this. The knee armor can open up, and again, as with basically everything that opens up in this kit, reveal a thruster. If you bend the knee more, you can open them up even further. And yeah, the reason why I say that you should pose them like this on the base, the action base, is because, well, the coolest thing about this kit is really these parts. It's not just like big spiky, I mean, it looks intimidating, but that's not all. They decided that you should be able to do this. Swing them down and let the feet rest on it. And do it with this part side as well. And now we got basically a miniature arms, GN arms. And yeah, it comes with a few things, sort of tips. Standard, it has these things on it. And what they are, let me just pick the other part. As you can see, they look a little bit like a hand. And, well, why would it look like a hand? Well, they went another step further, showing you that this is miniature GN arms. They gave you parts that you can throw on the ground, which I am very good in. They gave you this, an open claw. And you can mount these on the same place, on the end of the new feet or extra arms. And I'll show you the other one. It has a hole. Now, unfortunately, like a lot of high-grade kits nowadays, they don't get beams or beam effect parts anymore. But if you are like me and you have a lot of no-grade kits in 1 to 100 scale and master grades, you get beam effect parts. So what can you do? You can put them in the holes of course, in both of the claws. So now you have pretty intimidating, depending on how you wish to pose them, have a pretty intimidating beams coming from the legs, which is really impressive. This is really now a miniature GN arms. Again, as you can see, they're falling out. They're not like super tight, at least not the beam effect parts I have here. Some of them going better than others. It just depends how often you've used them, because, well, they do wear down. So, and well, another nice thing about this action base, and again, one of the flaps here fell off. That really tends to happen. That's one of the biggest down parts of this kit. But anyways, the stand, these alternative claws, you can mount them on special pegs. So again, you don't lose them. They're not going anywhere. Alright, so yeah, we're running out of time, so I'll just go into the weapons and accessories. Now, basically everything he comes with, you see here. As I said, you don't get any beam effect parts. Instead, you get this awesome thing. A 100% white beam saber with beam effect part molded into it. Yeah, guys, this is really novel. It's really new stuff. Come on, Bandai, don't be cheap. Anywho, as for the Exia configuration, this only works with if you build the Exia, the shield. Now, without painting, without stickers, it looks really dull. Yeah, because of the way it's done, it cannot mount on the arms unless you modify the peg here. And if you do, it might work, but I don't think you really have the room to put it in. So, nice to have to give to other kits or anything else. It has two beam sabers here, two on the other side, and the GN blades are mounted on the back. Let me just turn them around and show it. So it's really spiky. And of course the Exia's signature weapon, the GN sword. Now it's mounted a lot more fragile than on the regular Exia because yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, so it doesn't really fit, but it can deploy, and yeah, you can pose it if you have two hands to work with. So yeah, that's really all the weapons and accessories, and yeah, that is the Avalanche Exia Dash in his fullest.